Hello everyone and welcome to Math 1325, Math for Business and Social Sciences for summer. My name's Terry Barnes and I'll be helping you on this relatively short journey. I want to use this video opportunity to explain the way the course is arranged and also to share my expectations of how you should work through it and what you should do. So let's go through and look at the parts. The very first thing I would say is be sure to keep up with your announcements. Here's the first one that said to just click on MML homework and test and that'll set you up. So there, hopefully you've done that. The orientation video you're watching now. And then over here is the content browser. I've put in here the things that are important that I think you need to be successful in the course. And we're going to go through those. And then up here in the nav bar, also that's important. Here's where you'll go to do your homework and tests. Here's where you can check your grades. Any other content, if you wanted to go look, you could go there. Assessments, if you wanted to use the Brightspace gradebook, you could do that. But this is the one that is really the most accurate, I think. And then again, you could look at announcements here. So over here on the content browser, we got the instructor plan. And we're not going to read the whole thing, but we are going to look at it. Okay, so we've got the syllabus here, and we're just going to scroll through. Here's contact information for me. There's my email, and here's my office number, although I'm not in the office on campus, but if you called me and left a voicemail, it would convert to an email and let me know that I have a voicemail from you, so feel free to use that if you need to. You do not have to buy a separate book. That's included with the inclusive access. That means you don't have to purchase the book. You get an electronic one with the course. You do need a graphing calculator, and I teach with a TI 8384. If you are familiar with another one and you want to use it, that's fine as well. If we go down here, there's the course objectives, the course attendance. So you do need to understand that as of the census date, we are required to drop students prior to certifying. So if you need to get into the grade book and actually work on an assignment rather quickly in the course, just to make sure that you don't get dropped because of these new guidelines. So be sure that you just get in and at least start a homework, and then you're good to go as far as missing that. Then here's the course outline. We're going to talk about that in the calendar area. Course grading, there's a homework section for every section that I have assigned. The tests are similar to the homework problems, so that's a good reason to practice the homework for the test. You can work on the homework as many times as you want to. It says once the due date's passed, your score is frozen. Well, all of this is due at the very end of the course, so I don't think that's really an issue. But you can work on your homework over and over again till you get the grade you want, and I'm hoping that is 100. So your homework average will count as 30% of your total average. Tests, there are 5 to 6 tests, plus a comprehensive final. And the tests count 50% of your average. Now, this is important here in red. Before each test is available, it won't open online for you unless you've completed every homework for that section with at least a 70. So you need to meet that prerequisite before attempting the test. Final exam is cumulative, and it's 20% of your final average. And then down here, the attendance in this online course, attendance is based on participation. So you must work each week, either on homework or test. If you do not complete work in a week, that counts as an absence. You are allowed 2 such weeks because you only have 5 weeks in the whole course. So if you are absent 2 weeks, okay, that's not good for you, but if you get a third absence, you could be dropped for attendance issues. And I will keep you posted on that. So keep that in mind. And I think those are the highlights. You should read through the rest of it. But I think that's going to get us there. Let's go look at the calendar. Okay, so the calendar is back here. And what you'll note is that I have the starting date and I have the ending date. And what that means is, this is a suggestion. It doesn't have dates because you can set your own timeline. All of this has to be done by July 9th. And so if you want to try to do chapter 12 in the first week and take an exam, that's great. Chapter 13 is a little shorter. Maybe do that and part of 14. Then there's chapter 14. Chapter 15, a little bit shorter. It's got 4 sections. None of them are very long. And then 16 and 17 are together. So however you decide to set this up, whatever's good for you works. Now, remember what I said, though. You do have to do something every week to count for attendance. But if you had to be gone, your parents planned a vacation and you're gone 1 week, as long as you do one thing, you're going to be counted present. Now, keeping up with your work, that's another issue, but it wouldn't hurt you as far as your grades. So just do something every week, but this all has to be done by the end July 9th. You should be working every week, but that is up to you. You have complete freedom to do it how you want, but you also have complete responsibility. So let's remember that. Let's go back to the box. All right, the next thing here is handouts, and there's formulas for chapter 12. I think there's 2 separate ones. There's a curve sketching form that you're going to use for the test on chapter 13, I believe it is. And so remember that that's there for you to print, and you will include that in your test. So keep that in mind. Plotting first octant graph and plotting points graph, that's in chapter 16. So if there's other things that I add to handouts, they will be here, but most of the formulas are here that you will need. So let's go back to home. Now, this is where the meat of my course is. Without looking at the book, I have pulled things that I want you to know and that I'm going to test you over. So if you click here, you see problem sets, lecture notes, video playlist. We're going to go through each of these. So problem sets, there's a set for each chapter, each test that you're going to have. So chapter 12, let's just look at one of these. So these are problem sets, and they're for practice. So find the derivative of this function. Y prime is equal to this. And so you may not know what any of that means. You will after going through the practice. So there's 10 questions in that problem set. So I would say maybe print that. And then let's go back to the lecture note. So now we've got 12.1 and we've printed the problem set, and we're going to go to the lecture notes for chapter 12. And there's 12.1. So in 12.1, and we can make that a little smaller, but this is giving you the rules, and these are the notes that you would be taking if you were in class. And then we get down to the problem set. So after you've learned the process, there you go. Like number 2 says, okay, the best way to do that is to rewrite it so that this part looks a little different, and then you can go forward with that. So there's that for all of those questions. But even that, you may say, well, I don't really understand what's happening there. So let's go back and look at the video. So then this last part is video playlist. So if we click there, that's going to take you to my YouTube channel for 1325, and we'll go to chapter 12, and we will note that there is a video for every section. And so if we go here,
are you looking to refresh
we
your forgotten math
unfortunately
skills?
have to listen to
Have
that
a
for
firm
5
grasp of the
seconds.
fundamentals, even if it's been years.
And we'll skip.
This is section 12.1, and if you had math.
Okay, so you're going to hear me and we're going to talk. So we're going through the notes and we're going to get to the problem set. Let me get a little bit further. Okay, let's see.
They're just like that. I've put it back in the form it was in to start with, where the x was over the 32 or the x squared was over 64. You could try this, see if the answer will take it. If not, I mean this one, but if not, then put it back in the other form. I think it probably will take either one. All right, number 3, y equals 5x to the negative 6 minus 4x to the negative 1. Same rules apply, but we've got negative exponents, so we have to be careful. Negative 6 times 5 is...
So as you can see, I'm showing you and I'm talking through all of that. So let's go back. So you have looked at a problem set for 12.1. You've looked at the lecture notes for 12.1. You've maybe watched the video for 12.1. You're ready to do the homework for 12.1. We go here. And when you go to the homework, all of the homework sections and the test are showing up because I've got all assignments chosen. And so it tells you everything is due July 9th at 6 p.m. On the exams, it has a flag reminding you that you have to score a 70 on the homework. On the test, it says you have 0 of 2 chances. So every test you can take twice. The higher of the grade is going to count in your final grade. This tells you how long you have. So 2 hours, 2.5, 2, and then the final exam, you have 1 try on that, and you have 150 minutes. So that is how that looks. Let's look at the homework. And so the homework's going to kind of mirror what the problem set and the lecture notes had. So if we go to question 1, and it's just saying, okay, find the derivative of this function. You will have practiced that a little bit. You should kind of know. When you're ready to answer it, you are going to click there. Let me click, and let's see if I can move this down a little bit or up. Can't quite get there. Hold on just a sec. Well, I could not get the screen to show, but when you click in the box, these little icons come here, and you can't see them, but you'll see them when you get in. And it's if you need a fraction or a square root or something, there'll be all kinds of icons that will help you. So be sure you do that. Also here at the bottom is something called Get More Help. If you click on that, one of the options, and you can't see that, I'm so sorry, it says Ask My Instructor. This is what will pop up. And so if you've tried this question and you just can't get it right, and you've looked back at your notes and you've watched the video and you've done everything you can think of, feel free to click on Ask My Instructor. It sends me a specific, I know exactly what your question is saying. So you can write in here, this is what I've tried, I don't understand this, whatever, and I will be able to get back to you on your question. So you can just send that like that. You don't have to worry about it. And I think that's the best way to get help if you're really stuck. So you'll go through, if you do this, I'm just going to put a number in there. And down at the bottom that you can't see says check your answer. And it says no, use the sum or difference rule to find the derivative. Okay, and we're going to try it again. We're still getting it wrong. Final check. it will say the correct answer is this, and this is what you answered. At this point, you could say similar question, and it will just regenerate that question, and you could try it and get it right and keep doing that. Or you could go on to the next question. So if you go to the next question, you can see this one is wrong. But if I wanted to go back, I said, oh, I now know what to do. So you can go back and you can hit similar question at the bottom, and it just generates another one for you. So you can keep at your homework and keep working these questions until you get them correct. So that would be my suggestion for you on that. Let's go back. So that's where you would do your homework. You would also do your tests here. And I think I showed you that you could go to your test here. And when you do it, if I click online, it's going to say you have to do this. I could hit continue and it would go in. But that's where you would do it. Now, once you've done your test, and you want to look at what you missed, you want to go out of this and into the gradebook. So let's go to the gradebook. So up here, the MML gradebook, if we click on that, oh, hang on. Okay, so if you had done a test, it would show up here, and it would have a blue review beside it, and you could click on that. So you don't want to go back in your testing area to review it. You want to do it in the grade book. So you look at it, it'll tell you what you missed and what the correct answer should be, and go through that, make sure you can figure out what you did wrong, and then you are able to take your test again when you're ready, and the higher of the grade will stand. So the only other thing I think that you might need to look at is the ebook and the final exam review. Both. The ebook is here if you need it. I mean, I've given you the notes I think are important, but if you need the ebook, it's there. Final exam review looks like this, and it's just to help you narrow your focus. So focus on these homework questions for these chapters for the online test. So for the final. So I think that gets you going. And I am anxious to work with you, and I will be speaking with you throughout the course. Good luck.